Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. And today we've got this guy here, which was an interesting one. So those of you who've seen the unboxing video, you should know kind of how this thing goes. It's got really pretty handles, and that's pretty much why I bought it, right? I bought it because I have the G10 one, which we will be doing a comparison video. And for those of you who think, oh man, this guy just didn't clean himself, I've been working on my car the past few days, and car grease takes a little while to get out of your fingernails. But I've just been thinking about this guy, which I've been flipping him for better part of yesterday evening, and you know, it's pretty interesting. I have to say, it's a unique flipper, that's for sure, and it's definitely not one. I was kind of hoping for it to be better, but at the same time, it's also, I mean, it's not awful, right? Like, here it is. You know, this is the Ultem Armed Shark JK Orca, right? It looks fantastic, and I'm dropping it. Hopefully you should be able to deduce something. There is the engraving there of JK and of Orca. This thing looks absolutely fantastic, and I absolutely love it. I literally, just for the aesthetics, I think it's a worthy addition to your collection. But let's get to the real crux of the things. I think Armed Shark made a crucial mistake. However, it's not entirely their fault, because Julian also made this mistake, right, when designing the Orca. So when he made the Orca trainer in G10, I feel like that handle was designed weight-wise for the G10. Now, if you go onto his Instagram post, you can find like kind of the first batches of Ultem Orcas, and you can see how much they weigh. And they weigh, you know, somewhere around the 70 grams mark, which is kind of where this weighs, right? Which, by the way, for tolerances, this thing came like this. It's pretty good tolerances. If you shake it really hard, you can get it there to tap. But that's more because of I believe the blade centering on the bite handle is a little bit to the right, which I can't seem to repair. But the weight is about 70 grams, right? Which, if you then look at the most recent batch of Ultem Orcas, they're more like 63 grams. So Julian shaved 7 grams off, and that's in the blade. So what he did was he changed these blades, this is kind of the standard blade that came out with them, you know, with number 1. And then in the second or third batch, I think, or fourth batch of these things, he decided to make a weight reduction blade, which essentially just takes this line here, that line there, and this line here, and just thins them out, basically. You know, it makes these holes essentially bigger, right? The 2 holes that are here. And that shaves off a crucial amount of weight, which fixed the balance problems this thing has. So, coming down to it, this thing is pretty blade biased. I mean, you can see it's going there, and I mean, you can feel it. It's a bit of a wonky flipper, to be honest with you. It's definitely wonkier than I was expecting. Now, by no means is it the worst flipper. I still think it flips better than something. I think it's less wonky than perhaps the one aluminium basilisk clone. I think that might be a little wonkier. But like this thing, it really doesn't like some tricks. Like choker fans, they're not its favorite. Like it can do them, but then coming out into the palm fan, sometimes it just doesn't like it. Like there's just no end weight. If you don't mind having zippy end caps and pop them on the back, I'm sure this thing would be absolutely fantastic, and you'll protect your Ultem a little bit. But genuinely, it's just a bit of a wonky flipper, which is really sad, because as much as I want to like this thing, the balance it's kind of crap. As someone who prefers blade bias, don't get me wrong, I've been having a lot of fun with this thing, and I mean, I kind of like it. Is it better than the one G10 Orca in terms of the feel, the sound, the tolerance, and the bounciness? I mean, listen to this. In terms of all of that, yes, because it's an Armed Shark product. Although I think the One's washer system is slightly more durable, because it uses a stainless and a phosphor bronze washer rather than just 2 phosphor bronzes, like this guy here. Do I think that the One version is better? Yeah, it'll probably last longer as well. This Ultem, as great as it is, I mean, I feel like it's probably just going to crack sooner than the G10 would. And so I'm probably not going to beat this. But at the same time, I'm kind of leaning more towards keeping this guy just because of how good it looks. Like, if I really want a trainer, I can use the Madco. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I've just got really mixed feelings about this guy. I mean, I'll compare it to you with the real Orca. or I should say the non-trainer Orca. Here is the brand new Bali Plus Orca. And like, you know, dimensions-wise, it's pretty close. They both look fantastic in the sun. This balance is great. I'll be making a video of this in just a moment. But this guy, you know, I just wish it were slightly better. You know, do I think it's a really, really cool Balisong? Yeah. It looks great. It sounds better than it looks. It's, you know what, it's super comfy in the hands even. It just needs a little bit more end weight. So maybe if you can find like the densest screws in the world, or like fill these screws with like lead or tungsten or something, and like, you know, get tungsten screws. Actually, someone needs to invent that tungsten hardware just for this thing. That would be fantastic. But yeah, basically just a way to make this guy's butt heavier, or Arm Shark release a V2 with a thinner blade up here, because, you know, JK did the same thing and it made the Ultem Orca a lot better. It was lighter, and so, you know, for some people that's a big deal. This has kind of that squiddy feel, but yeah, really you can feel, the way to describe it is, it's kind of wonky in how a handle heavy knife is wonky. You know, does it struggle to do any of the like the regular tricks that you normally come across? You know, not by an insane margin. You can tell it doesn't do them, you know, as effortlessly as other things, but you know, you can still pull them all off, especially if you're a seasoned flipper. You know, chaplains are definitely where it's weakest, because that's how blade bias works, whereas, you know, on a handle heavy knife, the fan's the weakest. And it does fan in the same way, you know, handle heavy knives do roll over, but it's not as comfortable to roll over as a gentle handle bias knife, which is kind of the difference you feel here. You know, it's just not as nice as a slightly better tuned knife. And I don't mean tune as in like the tolerances, I mean like the balance tuning. And that would be really my biggest gripe with this guy, is that it looks great, it sounds great, it feels so nice to flip in the hand, but then it just doesn't flip as well as I'd like it to. But I still like it. The thing was, with a handle heavy knife, it just becomes a bit of a chore to flip. At least with the blade bias knife, it's a bit of like a fun flipper, just because it's a little wonky in a unique way. You got to flip slightly differently with it. But I think what really helps it like this, where if this was a heavier knife, I'd be super upset. Like, but I think because how lightweight it is and how minimal effort it takes to flip this thing, like literally you can just like basically just flip with your fingers. It just feels fantastic. Like just to have in the hand and just forget about it, right? It's so lightweight that it makes like no difference. Like, you know, whether you're holding it or not. You know, it's kind of like how a squiddy feels if it were a bit better built. I bet the Ultem squiddy is probably fantastic, and the Arm Shark Ultem squiddy is probably much better than this. And that's probably what I should buy as a travel knife, which would be sick. Let me know if you guys want to see the Ultem squiddy, the Squiddy A clone by Arm Shark. I'm not buying a real one because I'm not spending, you know, $90 or whatever it is. It'd be like £110 or something like this with the shipping and taxes. To bring one here, you know, it doesn't make sense when I can just get the Squiddy A clone by Arm Shark and probably have better tolerances as well. But, you know, probably get something like that, which will be like the travel song, and then this is just something just to have as an absolute beaut of a Balisong. I really like this thing, but it's kind of crap. I'll be honest with you, it's not great. I just like how it looks, and that's the main reason I got it. I've always loved the Ultem look, and it sounds great too. But yeah, leave a like, leave a comment, ask any questions you have in the description down below. You know, leave a like for that guy over there who's been subtly in the background. I don't even know, this is like something the dog eats. I don't even know, there's a fly there. I was trying to look at the face, but I guess it rolled over on its face, so I still can't see it. But yeah, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'll do a comparison between this and the one version. And this is sadly the fatal flaw of the Arm Shark Orca trainer. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.